What's up, YouTube? Alright, so in my video where I compared the two different 55-300 lenses, there was that section where, as I went through the image quality, there was a stark difference between the field of view between the two lenses, even though they're both the same focal length. Which, I mentioned that to one of my friends, and so my buddy was very curious about that. And he watched the video, and so he decided to do his own experiment with lenses he had, which are the same focal length, namely the 50-135 DA star and the 18-135. And he noticed that at 135, they both show a different field of view as well, which got me thinking, is it that there's a quality control issue, or does the actual length of the lens physically actually make a difference in regards to the focal length? It's interesting. So I figured I would actually take a deep dive into this and check it out for myself. Now, I did do a test run because I was trying to figure out how on earth am I actually going to do this, and I discovered another issue. Oh man, what is going on? The other issue is the lenses, as zoom lenses, as you adjust the zoom range of those lenses, the focal length does not get registered properly in the camera. I know, that's insane. Basically, what ends up happening is, say for example, a 50-200, you can get 50, you can get 200, but say you want to try to get 135. You'll get 133 and then 136 or 137. You won't actually get that one number you need. It happened again on the 55-300. All the in-between focal lengths, they're not exact. It's weird. I'm going to show you that, and let's find out if the actual physical dimensions of the lens actually makes a difference in regards to the field of view that you actually see. Maybe I'm onto something, maybe I'm not. Still trying to figure out what is this issue with these lenses, because I don't think it's just focus breathing. I think there's something else going on here. So anyway, let's get right to it. Blah! Alright, to start this off, I'm going to actually take the Sigma 1770 off of here. And as a base, I'm going to start with the 35mm. So let's grab this, pull it off, and then throw on the DA35. Just to get a starting base. Camera is on a tripod, and I keep kicking the stand. So camera is on a tripod, and I'm using a remote timer. Do it in live view so you can see exactly what we're looking at here. Let's focus. There we go. Okay, so that is the field of view from the 35mm prime. Let me grab the 50mm. We'll do it like that. Do the two primes back to back, and then I'll throw on the Sigma 1770, and I'll go from 35 to 50 and see if it all lines up. Or not. No idea what's going to happen. So there's the 50. Alright, perfect. Alright, now I'm going to grab the Sigma. And obviously the Sigma is a much bigger lens. So we'll see how this all plays out. Alright, so that looks like should be 35. Right there. Yeah, I think so. Let's hope so. Alright, so let's see if it actually is 35 or not. It is 35 millimeters. Perfect. Alright, so now let's go to 50. Well, I'm a little curious. Alright, perfect. 50. So this is actually registering correctly. Sweet. I'll show the images afterwards. Alright, so that's done. Now, let's move on to 1855. And we're going to compare that to the 18135. So I'm just going to do 18 millimeters. Alright. So never mind the overexposure areas or anything like that. That's not what the point of this video. The point of this video is actually the field of view differences at focal lengths that should match up. And that's at 18 millimeters. And this is my DAL 5200 WR. Okay, so that's at 50. Now, let's see, should I do 200? Yeah, that's at 50. And let's take this out. Let's run the 1855 and see if we can actually get this to register right at 50. Looks about right. The line is right, that little tiny speck right there. Right in the center there. It should be 50. Let's see if it actually is 50. And look, it's 53 millimeters. So, let's move this over. So it's 53, so come down a bit. Try that again. Still 53 millimeters. Alright, let's go down a bit more. And we have 48 millimeters. This is what I was talking about. Something's not registering properly, and this has happened on a few of my lenses. I'm not sure what the issue is, why it's doing it that way, what on earth is going on, no idea. But let's go back to the DAL 5200. Except this time we're going to go all the way to 200. Let's see if this will even show. This may not actually work. Yeah, it's not really going to work. But you know what? Let's try it anyways. Alright, now the 55-300 PLM at 200. Or, well, as close as I can get to 200 anyway. And already I can kind of see that this looks like it is a wider field of view. That's at 190 millimeters. So, let's move it right right over the 0 there. Try that again. .210. See, there is no 200 millimeters on this lens. It's 210 or 190. I don't know what's going on. All right, so here we have the images. We're going to start in order of widest focal length going all the way up. So we'll start at 18 millimeters. Now, on the left side here is the 1855 WR, and on the right side is the 18135 WR, both taken at 18 millimeters. Now, here's where things actually become very interesting, and it's the opposite effect that I thought it would be. So, looking at the 1855, which is a more compact lens than the 18135, right? But if you look at the field of view, you'll notice, especially here, the 1855 actually is more zoomed in at 18 millimeters. And you'll see here, I am at 18 millimeters. All the settings are the same. But if you look at the gap at the umbrella up here, as well as this comforter here on the chair, you'll notice you can see more of this, which is perplexing, because I would think that if the lens element is closer to the subject, then it would actually be more magnified. But it looks like it's the opposite case. The more compact the lens is, like, I don't know. This is, I don't know what's going on, but I've noted that it's a consistent thing. So let's go to the 35. So this is with the DA35 2.4 prime lens. And let's go to 35 millimeters on the Sigma 1770 2.8. Now, these two images are actually pretty dead set. Actually, no. If you look, the edge here, right where this lamp is, on the Sigma is actually a bit more zoomed in than the 35 DA 2.4. There's a slightly wider angle of view between these two, right? So let's check that out. Now, this could actually just be curvature of the lens in regards to how it's actually interpreting the image, but at the same time, they are the exact same focal length. So, you know, that curve actually can expand what you're actually seeing on the lens. I find this very, very perplexing. You know, the focal length is not actually the focal length or field of view that you would think you're going to get. So here's the DA50 1.8, and here is the Sigma 1770 set at 50 millimeters. And once again, if you look at the height here and the field of view, just on the microphone setup I have here, you'll notice that this is actually a wider field of view. And this is on the Sigma 1770, which, again, is a longer lens. Physically, it is a wide, the physical size of the lens is bigger. You know, this is very, very interesting, and you can see here where you know, the one lens is cut off here, and you can see more of it on the 1770. So it seems like the more compact the lens, the more zoomed in it actually is. Like, this is very, very, very strange. I did not actually think I was going to end up with these results. And I tried to get, and this is the DAL on the left side here, is the DAL 5200 WR. And let's compare that. Actually, let's go back. My bad. Alright, so let's go back to the 51.8, and that is... Right, okay, now here's where we get into an issue. Okay, so this is the 50. The DAL, I believe. Hold on, let me just quickly double check this. There's too many 50 millimeter Alright, let's see. What did I... Please tell me I named this. Okay, no, I tried this shot. Yeah, so this is the DAL 5200 WR. And you can actually see this is slightly more zoomed in. So I don't really... There just doesn't seem to be any consistency in regards to the focal length that you're expecting. No, because the 5200 WR is actually a bit more compact than the Sigma 1770 2.8. But this is just very, very strange. But none of these focal lengths actually match. None of them. And then here again on the Sigma 1770 2.8, I tried again to get 50. Or sorry, this is on with the 18135. I tried to get 50 millimeters, and here we are at 53 millimeters. And then I tried again, still 53 millimeters. Now I did adjust it, which you can see here. So the field of view is changing. I did change the focal length in regards to the zoom, but it's still set at 53 millimeters. But it's clearly completely different views. It's not making any sense. And I kept going, and then I ended up with 48 millimeters. Like none of this makes any sense whatsoever. You know, I mean, this was all hovering right around 50, but no matter what I did, I could not get 50 millimeters out of this lens, even when I was dead set at the 50 millimeters. You know, like, there's something going on. I don't know if it's lack of quality control or the size of the lens. I really don't get what on earth is going on here. You know, like, it's crazy. So let's go to the DAL at 200 millimeters, and let's compare that to the PLM at 200 millimeters. Now, at first glance, these do seem like they are the same image, right? However, if I go back and forth between the two, you'll notice they are slightly different. The DAL has a wider field of view at 200 millimeters than the PLM does. You know, I just, this is really, really strange. Really, really strange. And with the PLM, you'll notice it's showing at 190 millimeters, even though I was at 200. And the focal length equivalency is 285. And now let's go to the next image. And now it jumped to 210 millimeters, even though I was at 200. It just would not register 200. So, I mean, if you don't believe me, go take one of your own zoom lenses and change the info on your playback to show all the data on the back of the screen, and it will show you the focal length like what you saw in the video. Now, with that said, you're going to come up with the exact same thing that I came up with. None of this actually adds up. Why? I don't know. And I don't even know how to actually get to the bottom of it. I don't know if it's a mathematical formula or what on earth is going on, but all I know is the numbers on the lens don't seem to actually correlate with the exact focal length that you're going to get out of the lens. You know, oh, this may not actually just be related to Pentax. So anyone who's shooting Nikon, Fuji, Sony, any of that, you know, try it with those lenses as well, and let me know in the comments below if you end up with the same actual issue, because I think this is something a lot of people don't deep dive into. They just rely on, oh, okay, well, that's 200 millimeters, all right, perfect. Oh yeah, I like that shot, right? But, you know, just thought this would be an interesting technical video, and if you like it, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already, and if you'd like to support the channel, I do leave that information at the bottom of the description, so please take a look at that. And that's pretty much it for this one. Just thought this was a very, very interesting conundrum that should be brought to everyone's attention. And it's probably something no one's really thought of. Don't ask I don't know, sometimes I think I'm half machine. But anyway, enough with the jokes. That's it for me. You guys will see me on my next video.
I'm out.